Joseph, YouTube, welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
What's up, guys? So we've got another woman who thinks that she's special because she doesn't do coffee dates. I mean, this isn't new. We've done a couple of these on the channel. There are women out here who walk around thinking that women who go out on coffee dates and men who propose them are the lowest of low, brokest of broke, and they all kind of sound the same. They all kind of look alike. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
So one of my rules is I don't do coffee or drink dates. Now, I understand that some women like this or prefer this because it's a quick turnaround, 30 to 45 minutes. If you don't like him, you can get out of there. It works for some people. If you like it, I love it. This video is not for you. Keep scrolling.
Alrighty, guys, just given Los Angeles, you know, having lived here for a couple of years now, I can tell.
However, for me, as for me and my household, we're going to have higher standards. I'm talking to this guy and I'm going to read it to you because we've been talking for a couple days and he started talking about meeting up. So he said, we should get together over some pear and lychee cocktails soon. And I said, that's really sweet, but I prefer dinner. I like to get dressed up. Now, I always try to say it nicely because I don't want to be like, I don't accept drink dates. Like, you don't have to be mean. You don't have to be, you can be nice about it. But I let's just say I prefer dinner because I like to get dressed up.
Let's not forget how she just shit on every woman who accepts coffee dates as having low standards. Drink the coffee.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Let's keep listening.
And he said, I see. What type of places do you have in mind? So I sent him a list of places that I've been like wanting to try, all sorts of different budgets. Okay. It ranges from like medium to a little bit higher, all different locations around the city. So he can choose like what works for him, you know, timing and budget wise.
What is going on with dating now? You sent him a list of restaurants that you want to go to. Guys, imagine you're a guy who has a list of restaurants that you want to go to and try, and you don't have to pay for them. This is exactly the ideal situation you'd want, right? A situation where you can leverage men to go food tasting and eating at a bunch of spots that you think are worthy of your standards. Insane. And of course, guys, you know, it's coffee, so it's personal. Let's keep listening.
So I sent the list of places. He says, these places sound really nice. I think it'll be fun to get to know each other over some nicer dining options. Here it comes though. But I wanted to let you know up front that if we were to meet at one of those places, I'm comfortable splitting the check. I usually will do drinks or something on the simpler end for the first meetup to see if there's a connection first. So my thing is,
what's your thing?
I don't like the coffee or drink date because they're trying to audition you to see if you are worth an actual dinner.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And what's the problem with that?
This is the thing for me. Like, I know men.
Right.
The number one thing men are judging you off of is your looks, right? When they see you, they meet you, they're going to be like, okay, how beautiful is she? Is she put together? Do I find her attractive, right? That's the number one thing. Your personality may come second, sure. But the first thing is how you look, right? So with that in mind, my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer costs $32.
Oh my gosh, not this bullshit again. I saw this on another video and decided to ignore it. I decided to ignore it. It was some chick, and I hope she's not about to do this, who was tallying up the cost of all the items she used to get ready before the date and justified that, right? The expenses on the makeup, on the weave, on the lashes, all the shit that men say, hey, you know, you don't have to go that hard at that, and probably really don't care about the way you do. And using that expense as a justification for not accepting the coffee date, as in you must match the value of that. You know what else I'm not feeling, man? I don't like how she assumes it. Men just show up to dates and they're not taking care of themselves. Men who are out here bagging women are taking care of themselves. They are working on their presentation. They're dressing better. They take showers. They're using nice deodorant, right? They smell good. They're using cologne. I don't like that because the truth is men who are serious about improving themselves do invest in themselves. They use products like the sponsor of today's video, Tiege Henley. How do I know that Tiege Henley is the #1 skincare product for men? Well, because I tried them out for the first time
and they delivered. Listen, when Teach Hanley promised to uncomplicate my skincare routine, they came through, man. I use Teach Hanley every day, and I'm at the point now where I don't even have to think about it. They make it easy, especially with their instructional card that tells you what product to use and at what time. They didn't only promise to help me with my skin, which they did, but they also claimed that they had over 500 five-star reviews, and they were right. Yes, 500 five-star reviews from other happy customers. So while you're sitting here watching this video, there are other people leaving their reviews on their positive results and experiences with Teach Hanley. What's taking you so long? Listen, guys, I use everything inside that box. From their face wash, exfoliation scrub, morning moisturizer, PM moisturizer. I make sure that when I step out, my skin is healthy, protected, and ready to take on the day. So if you're tired of struggling with your skin and want something that works, hit that link pinned to the top of the comment section and get your first box today. The good news is today, Teach Hanley is running a special for my viewers and my audience. Get your first box today and you get 30% off and a free gift. That's 30% off and a free gift. Click that link at the top of the comment section and get your first box of Teach Hanley. Trust me, man, you won't regret it.
Let's keep listening.
Okay. Why would I put on a full face of expensive makeup, do my hair, make sure my nails are done, make sure there's no hair on my body, and then come and spend 2 hours of my time talking to you for an $8 coffee or a $16 cocktail? Be oh so for real. Let's take it even deeper.
Right.
When women go out with a man that they do not know, they take a huge risk. Men are crazy, okay? Do you watch the news? Like 1 in 5 men are violent. He could unalive you, he could RAPE you, he could stalk you, he could harass you if he feels like it. Like, it is very dangerous, extremely dangerous. When you go out with a man, you have to share your location with your mom and your friend.
So let me get this straight. Let's entertain this delusion, by the way. Extremely, this is crazy. But let's entertain it for a second. So let's enter her world here. You're trying to lower the risk involved in figuring out the right type of partner that suits you. And I don't think that's the goal here, by the way, but let's assume that's the goal. It would make sense that you would want to meet somebody for that coffee date so you can quickly figure out if they're that type of a person versus having that man who you think is unhinged invest in you only to be let down in the long run. The justification for men to go out here and spend money on modern women today who really, a lot of them don't offer much or don't think they have to do anything. They don't have to qualify. They think all they literally have to do is have a pretty face. There's a bunch of pretty faces out here, especially in Los Angeles. It's insane. And then you actually think about like the value of the makeup that you're using. I mean, let's really calculate if it's $50 for that foundation or $100. If you're going to be ridiculous enough to calculate the cost, then wouldn't you actually be spending a whole lot less because you're not using the full container of that makeup? And what's the value of that? I mean, let's get really ridiculous. This whole thing is crazy. And the worst part is she doesn't drink coffee.
No, I'll have a tea actually.
To send a screen recording of his Hinge profile and the conversation that you guys had so that if you go missing, they have context. You have to text your friend every half an hour while you're with him to let her know that you haven't been beheaded. You have to take an Uber so that he doesn't know what kind of car you have, and just in case he's crazy. And then when you get home, you have to text somebody to tell them that you made it home alive. Men aren't doing that. They don't have to worry when they meet a woman that they do not know that their lives will be in danger. Quite the contrary, men benefit from just being seen with you in public, okay? If you are beautiful,
wow,
poised, well-dressed, it reflects well on him. People look at him and you and they think, oh wow, he must be the man. Ooh, he probably has money. You know what? He's probably a good guy if he can pull her. And this is especially so if you are more attractive than him. If he's fugly or he's overweight or he's short, they're like, oh yeah, he must have money in order to be able to pull a baddie like that. So my thing is like, what's in it for women? We've already spent more money than you by just putting our makeup on. We're in danger. Like, what's in it for us? So then all of that, plus this man is a pharmacist. Okay, you mean to tell me you make upwards of $150,000 per year, but you can't take me to $120 to maybe $200 dinner?
A smart pharmacist. A smart pharmacist.
2 drinks, an appetizer, 2 entrees, and a dessert. Like, and that kind of thing. Look, men are supposed to be on their like best behavior when they're doing a first interaction with a woman. Like, that is when they are at their absolute best. So if he's being cheap now for a first interaction, he's gonna be cheap on your birthday. He's gonna be cheap on Christmas. Like, that kind of thing, that only gets worse. It never gets better. That is the type of man that's going to want you to work full time, pay half the rent when you guys move in together, do the majority of the housework because he doesn't want to hire a housekeeper, raise the kids, plan most of the things.
This chick thinks she's going to marry somebody who's going to afford a housekeeper. It's these type of women right here, these exact type of women who end up 50, 40, single, and still trying to lock down that high value male. Men who hire housekeepers are not looking for you. They're not looking for you. And when I say that, I mean they're not looking for a chick who's given this type of mindset, right? This modern woman mentality of get yours, get over by any means. Let's keep listening.
And then after you do your 16-hour shift of labor, he's going to want you to be happy and sexy for him, for his pleasure that night. Like, that's the kind of life you're looking at. So you know what? Good for this man for asserting his boundary. He did it very nicely. And it showed me what his like attitude or approach is when it comes to dating new women. And ultimately it gave me the opportunities to choose. And I have my boundaries too, so I chose to not accept it. And so I didn't respond or anything. I didn't like bargain with him or try to justify anything. I just quietly unmatched him because I wasn't gonna let him play in my face. But like, obviously if you're on TikTok, like, this is not irregular discourse. Like, this is very popular. Like, the Red Pill podcast men are always talking about like all of these things. So like, it's not uncommon. Like, men are trying to get away with this these days. They're trying to see what they can do. They're trying to get at you for less than $20.
They're getting smarter. Shout out to that man for drinking coffee, first of all. But they're getting smart. Why would any man invest a couple of $100 on some chick and quickly find out 15 minutes into the conversation that he's not into you? Which, guys, have to remember is that a lot of these women out here are dating multiple guys. And men also try to do the same thing and want to do the same thing. But they take on the cost of that. So 5 women with this type of mindset can get very expensive.
Okay, so the pharmacist tried to give me a coffee date on a Friday. Saturday, a surgeon took me to a beautiful dinner with a view. The next day after that, this other man took me to this food event where the tickets were $250 because he wanted us to have VIP. So don't feel scarce about it because there are plenty of men, there are a plethora of men that would be more than happy to show you a good time. So never settle. Date until you find the best man for the job, and you got this. That's my TED Talk for the day. You didn't ask, but I felt like you would listen. Send this to one of your friends who needs to raise their standards and tell me what you feel like in the comments.
Oh my gosh. Guys, listen to me. It is amazing to me how little women ask for once they hit that wall. How simple their requests are. Like, here's the truth about women who are exactly like this. It will end in tears. You will see this chick and wonder, why is she still alone? When you run into women who are wasting their youth away by overvaluing their sexual market value, and you see them and like this chick, they'll say, oh yeah, I'm single, because they can't find a man who is worth settling for. Just know that she most likely has delusional expectations and standards. What's amazing is how simple the requirements get once that wall hits, once reality starts to set in. And then men don't really feel bad for you. You guys remember that video I did a while back where the woman was complaining about how hard things get as women age in their 30s? And he told her, men don't feel bad for women who are older because they realize that at this age, they were doing this. Right? They were doing this. especially when you can tell that they used to have that mentality. Let's check out some of these comments, see what the people have to say. First comment here says, all I hear is I'm hungry. Sis, if you like dressing up, take yourself to dinner. Stop looking for handouts. We've got another comment here, and this one comes from a woman, and it reads, I understand that you have standards, but not all men are like this. That's not fair, and men are allowed to have standards too. Someone tell Erica that men cannot have standards according to modern women. Another comment here says, I once heard a girl say, if my spray of perfume costs more than a date, it's a no. And now I live by that. Ha ha ha. As she says while she's standing by herself in her profile pic. Guys, listen to me and hear me well. Please, we are about to see a generation of single women, and we are about to drink
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
the coffee along with them. The difference is we're going to like the taste. They're not, it's going to be forced down their throat with a muzzle. Let's check out another comment here from another woman who actually disagreed and said, dating sounds exhausting in this frame, LOL. I agree. Another commenter here says, I hear you, but to me, splitting the bill is no biggie. I actually prefer that, so I don't need to feel like I owe anything. A real feminist, splitting the bill. Another comment here says, I would have stopped at what do you have in mind? Because he should be planning. Another comment from another woman says, honestly, sending the list of places was too much effort. She says, you shouldn't have even sent the list. You should have known which restaurants you wanted to go to. Another comment from another woman says, I'm tired of seeing dating as a business transaction. It's fine to set boundaries, but how much money he spends on a stranger is not my type of standards. Here's somebody else who says, it sounds so exhausting. My first date was beers on the beach, and now we're married and he treats me like a princess. And at that beach, she probably showed that she had other qualities that made him realize that this woman deserved better, and she earned marriage and a ring. These are the women who get married, man. These are the women who find men. We've got another comment here from another woman that says, that's exactly how I feel. So she agrees. I don't like being tested or auditioned. You don't like being auditioned for a relationship. Think of how full of yourself you have to be to just walk around assuming that men should look at you and think you deserve a relationship and shouldn't be vetted to make sure that you are okay in the head. Someone else responded back and says, that's the whole point of dating, though. He's being auditioned by you too. No. That's the thing you guys don't get. You can get tested in audition. She cannot. Guys, the day that you start, because you don't have to go through terrible situations to realize that you also can audition women. Because most guys go through a bunch of horrible situations and now they're not so thirsty for the cheeks. That's when they start thinking, okay, that's not worth it. It's not worth it to get the cheeks if it comes with my tires being slashed or me ending up in jail. But you don't have to do that. You don't have to get to that point. And women will respect you more for this. At the end of the day, she's over here making a TikTok video about him because it stood out to her. Another comment here says, I agree with him. 200 for the first date is wild, and I don't even know if I like you. Exactly. Another person here says, splitting the check on the first date. She can't believe that. Honey, he would have been blocked after that message. Our final comment here comes from a woman, and she says, I'm almost 40. Pay attention to this one, guys. So I like coffee dates for the quick turnaround. She told us in that one sentence everything we need to know about how this story ends. When you realize that you took dating way too lightly and wasted your youth, this is where you end up. You see the benefit in coffee dates. You too are not trying to waste your time like this 40-year-old woman. Oh, now you care about time not being wasted. When you're young and you think you have all the time in the world, you're just going through these guys who are taking to these expensive dates. And let's be honest, they're not taking it that seriously. They just have enough disposable income, maybe, to treat you like they want to, but they're busting the cheeks, right? They're not taking you seriously at the end of the day, the majority of them. And you end up single and alone because you thought you were hot shit. The post goes on to read, but I've noticed that serious men never suggest coffee/drink first. Well, that's not true. Usually I'll suggest coffee/drinks if I think you aren't looking for what I'm looking for. You're so right. A man who wants to date you suggests a date. Wow. This woman right here went from looking like she learned a lesson.
God damn it! You
can't make this shit up, man. And listen, as always, I'm done. I appreciate you all for checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out, man. Peace.